What's up, Warrior Babes? Hey, everybody. Nikki here, and welcome to our Sunday Warrior Babe Revolution Rally Call. I am super stoked to be here with you guys right now. I've got a great topic coming to you. So we'll get started in just a few minutes. So why don't you guys go inside the Facebook community, let the other Warrior Babes know that this call is getting started. We are live. Just leave a comment, say Rally Call is live. Let the group know that they can hop on to this call right now. And they'll want to hop on because I think this is definitely going to talk to a lot of you guys. I shared this conversation inside of my VIP group on Wednesday, where I do a little bit of like an educational tidbit with that group, and it definitely sparked some interest. So I know that I wanted to share it with you guys too as well. It's not in the mindset. We've had a little break from the mindset realm of things so far in the past couple of weeks, and I'm bringing to you more of a nutritional tip today and kind of a way to break through any plateaus you're experiencing. So that's not the name of the topic today, and it's going to be a little bit deeper than just that, but I'm stoked talking to you guys about this topic today. So let the group know that we're live and we're getting this call started. Before I do dive into the topic, if you guys are new to Warrior Babe, we do these calls every single Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, make sure if you are new, especially like submerge yourself in a Warrior Babe everything. My language, how I talk, the community, these calls, these Q&As, these rally calls. Like, make sure that you are here and you are alert and you're aware and you are tuning into everything that has to do with Warrior Babe. So that's just going to benefit you and your progress here inside this community and inside this program. So we do these calls every single Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you mark your calendars, you set your alarms to whatever time zone that equates for you. All right? And you want to be here because these topics fire you up. It's something that I choose to talk about, one topic per week that just fires you up and gets your week started off on the strong foot. So before we do dive into it, I just want to welcome all of you new Warrior Babes to the community. I'm super stoked that you're here. You're part of thousands of women, literally thousands of women, which is so cool to see, who are all on the same journey as you, who are all working towards the same goal of getting toned and becoming a stronger, more confident version of themselves. And it all starts within you. You have the tools and the resources here to follow you through to the goals that you want to accomplish, but it starts within you to take that action. So I highly recommend, you dive in, you go through the material, you listen to the content, you show up on these Q&As, you listen to the previous rally calls that are inside of your application, because there's golden nuggets inside of each and every single one of them, and they date back to over a year ago. So you'll find really good, like what the babes like to do in the VIP. They tell me that they just like to go back to the previous rally calls and listen to them while they're doing their cardio. So it's an easy way to make 20, 30, 45, 40 minutes go by. Some of these are just 15, 20 minutes, but it's an easy way to make your cardio go by super fast. So there's no excuses that I don't want to hear that I don't like cardio. All right? One more thing before we dive into the topic is please, 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 I see it too often, and it just breaks my heart because a lot of the questions that you guys are seeking when you first chime into the community, like you're new and you're chiming in, you're like, what can I do? Where is this? Where is that? It can be found inside of your application majority of the time, the questions that you're seeking when you're first joining. So take the time to go inside the application, search there, listen to everything that I'm sharing with you, tons of golden nuggets. And if the question that you're seeking can't be answered inside the app or you can't find it, then go to the home screen and click on Frequently Asked Questions or Need Help. That brings you to our FAQs resource page, which is an entire platform that I've built and my team updates every single month of the most frequently asked questions that we get from on a monthly basis. And it dates back to when we started Warrior Babe. So there's tons of questions that can be answered there as well. But if not, then you've looked in the app, you've looked in our frequently asked questions, then you can head to the Facebook group and tag Kate, who is our community manager. She's in there giving you guys support on a daily basis, clarifying any questions that you have to start off your journey. You can ask the Facebook group and Kate, and I guarantee you somebody will be there within a minute of you dropping your question inside the community. All right, so now let's dive into today's topic. Super stoked to be talking about this because I know it's going to resonate with a lot of you guys, and a lot of light bulbs are going to be going off inside of your head. And I'm going to give you one of my little secret tips to kicking yourself out of if you're experiencing any of these things I'm going to talk about today, okay, I'm going to share a little thing that I do with a lot of babes inside of my Blueprint program. I'm going to share a lot of tips and strategies with you there. So let's talk about today's topic. It's the effects of long-term deficits. So, if you're following the same plan or strategy for like 8 to 10 months to 1 year to 2 years, you follow the same thing, or you're not even consistently following it, but it's still considered, you not eating enough, or you eating like 800 calories to 1,000 calories to 1,200 calories, whatever it may be, if that's a program that you followed before, or even the macros here inside of WarriorBabe, you cannot follow them for too long. And this is why. These are the effects of long-term deficits. And if they apply to you, you're going to want to listen to the strategy that I would personally recommend for you, so that you can kick yourself out of anything that you may be experiencing right now. And this is something that I do with my Blueprint babes, my VIP babes. So it's a tool that will really serve you if you listen to me all the way until the end of this call. All right? So some effects of long-term deficits is, number one, it lowers your metabolism. So the body becomes adapted to this lower intake that you may be at. Like if you're at 1,400 calories, or if you're at 1,200 calories, or whatever it may be, and you're sitting at this for way too long, the body becomes adapted to this. And what this can do is it causes your metabolism to slow down. Plus, in some cases, this lower metabolism can persist long after a deficit has been stopped, which can explain why a majority of people regain weight once they go off of their caloric restricted diets. Right? So, for example, if you've been in keto, or you've been at 1,100 calories for way too long, or you've been at 1,200 calories for way too long, or even 1,400 calories or 1,500 calories for way too long, your body is adapted to this point, and your lower metabolism can actually persist long after you've tried to incorporate more food. And it can explain why people instead actually start gaining more weight, or they gain back excessive amount of weight after they're done these calorie-restricted diets. So if you are in far, far, far too deep, and this is happening to you, there's a trick, but, I'm only going to give you the tools and strategies, but the way to employ on it more is definitely something that you would want to search out as my Blueprint program, because it's more hands-on. I'm able to talk to you in the situation that you're going through and help you with the tools I'm going to give you right now to follow through to make sure you're doing the right moves down the road. But anyway, if you are far into it for too long, not only can it slow down your metabolism or cause more weight gain when you're trying to recorrect things for yourself, but if you're in for it too long and you're following restricted diets, or you're not understanding this concept and what a metabolism is, if you don't understand what a metabolism is or does, one of the reasons why your metabolism slows down, why it becomes adapted, is because your body is going to muscle loss. Right? So your body will tap into your muscles as a reserve for much-needed energy. And, I've talked about this before, probably in many different concepts or many different languages, but hopefully it can resonate with you what I'm trying to say here and now. If you're too far into a deficit, and, yeah, anybody can lose weight. So, you can go into a weight loss deficit for sure, 100%. But let me tell you, if you're sitting in it for too long, your metabolism slows down, your body starts actually tapping into your muscle stores, because your muscle stores are where energy is. Muscle is active tissue, and it stores glycogen inside your muscle stores. So in order to give you the energy that it needs, that your body is looking for, it will tap into your stores, which is completely fucking counterproductive to the goals that you guys are seeking here inside of WarriorBabe. Right? I talked about this before, that there's a total difference between weight loss strategies and fat loss strategies. And what I'm trying to teach you and employ here inside of WarriorBabe is more of a decreasing of fat loss, preserving lean muscle, which is what is going to get you toned and decrease your body fat. So if you're in a deficit for way too long, you can say bye-bye to your muscle stores, which is completely counterproductive to what you are trying to do when you are looking to build muscle and get toned, right? So this is why people lose weight, but they just look more like a skinny fat person, right? They're losing weight, but they're tapping in also to their muscle stores because they're not giving their body enough food. They're way into it too deep, or their metabolism is slowing down. Their body's just adapting to this. So it's going to go to your muscle stores for energy. So that's one of the major things that can happen is it lowers, the effects of long-term deficit is it lowers your metabolism. And this is where you could be experiencing plateaus, and while you think you're doing everything right, but you're banging your head into walls. You're not seeing the results that you would expect you seeing by you eating that little amount. All right? It also, this is a key thing, guys, it causes fatigue and it causes nutrient deficiencies. So this is like the number one thing. Like, if once this occurs, it's your body giving you a sign that you need to change things up. But not many people know this, right? They think that low energy and irritability and fatigue and being tired all the time, being hungry all the time is normal. And yes, hunger is definitely one of the things that you will experience in fat loss, but irritability and low energy and missing your periods, like, all of those are signals that your body is trying to tell you, like, dude, you are not fucking feeding me enough food. Like, a long story, I shared this on my Instagram the other day. I lost my period for 8 months. I thought that it was okay. I thought that was, like, normal. My body was not getting enough nutrition to sustain some of its basic functions, like reproduction. And I shared this on my Instagram. And I was going to my first bodybuilding competition, and 1 month into it, didn't realize how deep of a deficit that I was in, but it caused my period to stop. And the reason why I did that is because I wasn't giving my body enough nutrition to sustain some of its basic functions, and because my body fat was extremely fucking low. So it stopped focusing on things like reproduction to give my body more energy in other areas like survival. So food, guys, I mean, my point in everything that I fucking teach and preach is food is extremely important when it comes to anything, but most importantly, like, overall bodily functionalities and the reproductive system. So a little thing inside of our brain, the hypothalamus, that's the control center of your brain, and it regulates many, many, many hormonal functions within the body, but undernourishment can suppress that hypothalamus, which causes the regulation of normal hormonal fluctuations and regulation of the menstrual cycle to be altered or stopped. So my point is, in sharing the story with you, is, like, can you guys imagine what happens with you not eating enough food in other areas? Like, your body is very resilient. It's very smart. It's a fucking machine. You got to think of it like that. From here on out, if you don't already, from what I taught you inside of WarriorBabe, but even if you're new, like, I'm hoping this is hitting home for you guys. Your body's a machine, so if you're not giving it food in one area, if you're not giving it enough, it's going to start shutting down in specific areas so that it can thrive in other areas. It's going to keep your cellular functions, your functionalities, everything else alive. And you're not going to feel that happening. It's not like you're going to experience, like, death in one area of your body, right? But your body is sending you signals of, I'm tired, I have no energy, I'm missing your period, you're irritable, you're freaking out at people. Like, those are symptoms that you're not giving your body enough fuel, and meaning food, to function properly. Okay? And when it comes to you wanting to build muscle and get toned, you better fucking imagine that you need to be eating tons of food to be able to facilitate that kind of goal and those processes to happen inside of your body. It's a building process. You know, just think back to when you were a kid. You were constantly always eating, right? You were a kid and you were growing. You got to think of that same concept here. When you're building your body, you are growing, and you need food in order for those processes to happen. For the cellular things, for the growth of muscle to happen, growth of muscle, building muscle is what makes you look toned. All right? So that's the second thing that happens. It causes fatigue. It causes nutrient deficiencies if you're in a deficit for way, 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 way too long. And this is your body trying to be like, dude, fucking change things up and give me more food, please. And I'm going to share with you exactly what I would do, particularly if I were you in this situation, in a couple of minutes. It's a strategy I use in the blueprint, a strategy I use in the VIP because it's more hands-on. So whenever I hear this shit coming from people, I'm like, oh, man, here we go. Get ready for some more food. And people always freak the fuck out. They're like, really, Nikki? And they listen to me. I'm always like, trust me now, believe me later. And a week, 2 weeks later, they're dropping weight. They're breaking through plateaus. They're experiencing more results because they're eating more fucking food. It's amazing what you can do by just giving your body enough food. I don't know. I can't wait to be able to break through it more to women that food is not scarce. You don't need to create scarcity around food. I'm still at this 3 years of coaching is amazing. The things that I learned from talking to women and coaching women, I appreciate you guys sharing your stories because it's something that I'm going to be able to use as fuel later down the road in breaking your belief systems and shattering your belief systems around food. Because women need to hear this louder and louder and louder, that food, if you want to be able to become toned and build muscle and change your body composition, you've got to eat food. So you've got to eliminate this belief system around food that you have, and especially around carbohydrates, or thus whatever you have, this belief inside of your brain just needs to be fucking shattered. And you need to be open and willing to eat more food and not be afraid of it. All right? Now, another thing that happens, and these are more of the smaller, more severe things that happen, is it can weaken your bones. So especially my women that are listening to me that are in menopause or past it, estrogen and testosterone levels, they reduce when you are going through menopause, which those hormones reduces bone formation and causes breakdown, which causes weaker bones. Okay, I can't tell you how many times that I would see inside the emergency room being a nurse that how many hip fractures I saw, broken bones I saw, in the older ages, when they're 60, 70, 80 years old, and it's all due because this now, it matters right now, you guys. It really matters right fucking now, no matter what age you are. You're 20, you're 30, you're 40, you're 50, or you're 60 years old. If you can get a wrap on you're eating proper nutrition for you, you can literally slow down these processes of the phase of life that you are in or experiencing. You can slow these symptoms down by just eating enough food and implementing the strength training. It's literally as fucking simple as that. So on top of the estrogen and testosterone lowering, but also with long-term deficits, it increases in exercise. It increases with you. So with long-term deficits plus you increasing in exercise, it raises stress hormones, which can lead to bone loss. And like I said, this is a severe aspect of being in a deficit for too long. But I've seen it, right? I've taken care of women who've had hip fractures and bone fractures, and it's because of their malnutrition in their early years. But once you reach this point, bone loss is often irreversible too. So that's why it's really fucking important to eat enough food. I can't stress it enough. All right, I've seen it. You guys may not have seen hip fractures and bone fractures and, malnutrition in later years. I have. All right, and I'm telling you guys this is a friendly reminder to eat enough and to be on top of your nutrition now because it matters right now. It's not once you're there later in life, it's gonna be really hard to fix if you can't get it down right now. It's like teaching an old dog new tricks. Okay. All right, and then the last thing, smaller things. It lowers the immune system. It lowers your libido. It causes other things where people think it's just normal, right? It causes hypothyroidism. It can cause a lot of shit to go out of whack if you're in a deficit for way too long. If you're not eating enough food, like I said, other cellular processes in your body are going to shut down. Okay, to give you energy in other areas to keep you alive. So it's going to lower your immune system. It's going to do all of this kind of shit that's going to shut down other areas. I hope this is all making sense. It's kind of fucking blowing your mind. Because not going to lie, me talking out loud right now, it's really blowing my fucking mind. That it really just comes down to the simplicity of eating enough food. And you, not only will you be healthy and you create a lifestyle and you create long-lasting results for yourself, but you actually get that more superficial goal of being toned and building muscle and changing your body composition. All right? So those are some effects of long-term deficits. It lowers your metabolism. It causes fatigue, nutrient deficiencies. It shuts down bodily processes that aren't really as important, and it gives you energy in areas to keep you alive. It weakens your bones, especially if you're past menopause, and it lowers your immune system. It lowers libido, causes more irritability. All of those, it's not you. I mean, you can't, a lot of people like to think it's oh, it's my thyroid. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. No, I'm sorry, I need to say it is you, right? They think it's this, they think it's that, they think it's a diet. They're probably, it's you, and you need to eat more food. That's all it is. That's really as fucking simple as it is. So a tip and strategy that I can share with you right now that I share with my warrior babes or in a blueprint. It's more of a hands-on approach, so that's why I share it in the blueprint. I share it in the VIP because it's more individualized to each person, and whoever implements it is going to have a particular kind of result, and it can veer either way. So just broadly speaking right now, again, you guys can check out the WarriorBabe Blueprint program if you're interested, but broadly speaking right now, to break yourself out of this, if you're in a deficit for way too long, you can bring yourself up to maintenance macros. Right? You can go into the calculator, you can go into maintainability, you can find out your maintenance macros, and you can start eating at that. And I would eat at that for 1 week or 2 weeks and see how your body adjusts, see how you feel, see how your measurements look, see if your weight decreases. If that is what happens, you're feeling great, you're feeling amazing, your progress photos are showing changes, you're eating more food, and you're actually decreasing weight, that is your body trying to tell you you need more food. And that you shouldn't go back into a cut. You should probably sit at those maintenance macros for like a month to see how your body responds. Now, if you do increase and you're sitting at this for a week, 2 weeks, your weight's maintaining, measurements maintaining, pictures are maintaining, then this is where you could probably go into a little bit like only decrease. You want to go back into a cut full mode. You probably want to sit in between a cut and your maintenance macros by probably like midway and only decreasing from your maintenance probably like 200 to 250 calories to bring you back down into a cut. Third option is you guys can see how individual it is, and these are the factors I take into play when I'm on my Q&As and I'm handling blueprint babes or VIP babes. So that last thing is, let's say you gain weight. Well, and then your metabolism is kind of fucked up, all right? And you need a better approach. You need to kind of heal that metabolism and reverse your way up to those maintenance macros. Now, I'm not going to talk about that third concept because that's pretty in-depth, and I don't want to feed you too much. It's pretty much broadly speaking, and I would recommend, if you feel like you can do it, go do it. There's tons of you guys in my Revolution program who know exactly how to do this shit, know macros, but if you're somebody who is like, oh, fuck, I'm experiencing all of this, but I'm afraid to do this on my own, I feel like I need more help, that would be something to go and check out the Blueprint program for sure. VIP is currently on hold. We don't have any more spots, but that's the strategy that I would take, right? You obviously can tell from me sharing this with you, if you are experiencing any one of these, your body needs more food, and that is exactly the strategy that I would take for yourself. All right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this topic. It was the effects of long-term deficits. I really enjoyed speaking about this because it's my passion. I want to breathe and instill into you guys that food is fuel and you need it. So, listen to me and employ this if you have to. And I will give me your feedback inside the Facebook community too as well. I would love to see your Facebook, see what you guys thought about this Q&A. Not Q&A, rally call. And I will catch you guys on the Q&A Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, you guys, that Q&A, that time frame has changed to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So mark the calendars for that. Set your alarms, and I will see you guys there. And remember to start this week strong. All right, it's a new week and a new month. So you got the same focal points with your goals. Well, okay, what can you do differently that you didn't do that great last month? And bring it into this month. Show up for yourself and take action. All right, babes? Crush it, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. Bye, everyone.